Hello there and welcome to another live chapter reading for Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Today I shall be reading from Master Tuscano, Masters of the Consulate, Book 2 by Via Mari. Chapter 1, Christian. The rage boiling in my veins is barely contained until Overmaster Descalia transports from the warehouse, leaving me alone with the syndicate boss who lays broken in bloody in a urine and feces-soaked cage before me. My chest pumps hard with the effort to disperse blood fast enough to keep up with my fury over what he's done. His eyes are closed, but his evil heart still beats, something I plan to remedy very soon. Master Descalia was fair, allowing me to do this alone, but he knows what I'm after and what I intend to do with the information when I get it. The clang of metal bars opening awakes the asshole from his sleep, but his eyes are barely slits, unable to fully open. Behind the layers of beaten and swollen flesh, Benetti, head of the Vegas syndicate, will need to be reminded of his sins, the atrocities that were done to Delilah and the other women he ordered taken, and he's going to tell me what I want to know and wish like hell he'd never given that directive before I end his miserable fucking life. The gun holstered at my back won't be needed because that would be too easy of a death for anyone like him. Instead, I slowly draw my dagger, letting him see the sharp steel edge glinting even in the dim light of the windowless warehouse. You have a choice. Easy or hard, I want names and locations. If you tell me what I want to know, I'll end your life quickly. If not, we'll be here for an exceptionally long time, and you'll get to know my friend well. His listless black eyes hover over the steel before lifting to my face. Who runs the trafficking industry in your region? Who's the power that gives you orders? Benetti's eyes fall and his mouth stays sealed, and I'm nothing if not a man of my word. I grab him by the hair and pull him to the opening of the cage, slashing at the barely closed knife wound on his and causing fresh blood to bubble onto his chest. His scream is lost to the dryness of his throat, a crackling gargle because he has no strength left to give. I'll give you 3 minutes and then we go again. I have no desire to be here any longer with you than needed. Lazarus, the word that comes out garbled, but I couldn't have misunderstood. I want to believe he is too far gone to lie, but one can never tell. Fuck me. I keep my face stony, unwilling to show my surprise at the name he provides. I don't think he's telling me the truth. I open another word. Wound, this time slicing farther than the original. Truth, he croaks from dry split lips. Why would Lazarus associate with you, of all people? Benetti glares with me with sullen eyes, showing his hate even though he's more than giving up his fight. Why Delilah? His eyes close, a silent denial to answer what I've asked. The slice is slow and deep this time. The strangled guttural sound leaves his throat as a new cut in his chest grows, and the blood running from it pools onto his belly. My fangs are out, but only from my rage. His pain is a penance for his order against my mate. Answer me, I growl, to send a message to the vampires. It's all he can choke out, and it's all that I need. The master's told me everything of value now because now I can find the fucker who gave the order for Delilah's kidnapping, her rape and the treatment that she and the other women endured while left in the cage, held together just like Salvatore had done to the bastard in front of me. I know exactly where that fucker lives and exactly how to get there. A mansion in the Windy City is where he likes to hang out. A city thousands of miles north of the desert in Vegas where Benetti ruled, but one full of men just like him. Men who run thousands of girls, snatching them from anywhere they can grab them and sending them to anyone who pays. I promised him a quick death if he spoke, and while I never go back on a promise, it will not be painless. The first stab is deep, ripping around the centre and tearing flesh as I harvest what I'm looking for. Benetti's body has already stopped beating. I sever the remaining arteries, pull his heart from his chest and toss it into a clear plastic bag, don a different pair of gloves and place it into a larger black bag before throwing my clothes into the incinerator. The shower in the back of the warehouse is all I need to get the stench and rotten blood from my body and skin. I soap every inch from head to toe, scrubbing well to ensure the scent of the bastard doesn't stay with me, but mainly so Delilah doesn't realise what I've done when I return home. Lazarus was the last person I would have thought of being responsible for setting up a coup and making it appear the vampire community was kidnapping human women. Put us in a bad light and scare the humans into thinking that we were taking their women and my mates. His hatred of me is known for my voiced opinion about not wanting him as a member of the Consulate, but my voice alone wasn't the reason he didn't get appointed. He is a coward, and that is just one of the many reasons Master Descalia did not add into the Consulate when he asked to join. A weak link in our society and tiny community, but one that until now had done nothing to get on anyone's bad side or embarrass our kind. Descalia will need to know, and he will in good time, but avenging Delilah is the top priority before anything else. In time, when she's recovered, she will thirst for revenge, but for now it would be too much. The light in her eyes has not yet returned, and it will take care and time to make that happen. The first is easy to give, but the second will only come with patience that I seldom have anything or anyone else but Delilah. I take one last look around the warehouse and at Bonetti's body, left for those Discalio wants to show, and he is a solid and revered overmaster, fierce, strong, and capable of ruling over the group of us that govern our kind. If he wishes to show the body of the man now lying dead in the cage to the women who were taken, that means one less thing for me to do today. Transporting him back to Tuscany takes a matter of moments. The night is cloudy and there's a steady mist falling in the air. I take a deep breath from just inside the tall wrought iron gate of my estate, inhaling the serenity of the hills and grapevines surrounding the vast property for miles and miles. The 4-story mansion calms me, a steady factor in my life, one that's been my home for centuries, a bachelor's seclusion until making Delilah my very own. The rage I feel at the injustice done to her is not gone by a long shot. My fangs descend in anger, knowing the very act of making her my own caused her to be a target for my unknown enemy, to be taken, beaten, raped, and left in a pile of her own blood, feces, and someone else's semen. I inhale deeply, needing a few moments alone to collect my thoughts before checking on Delilah. I might have avenged her for what Bonetti had done to her, but it does nothing to absolve the guilt festering in my heart for being the cause of her capture. The man who ordered her kidnapping will be held responsible, of that there is no question, but when the time is right, he will pay far greater than Bonetti, but pushing down the remorse for what happened to Delilah is not something that will come as easy. The image of her bruised and battered body, tears in her flesh from being carelessly tossed in the cage, but it still sends white hot molten streaks of lightning through my veins. But it's her eyes that trouble me most. They are the worst. Once they looked on with pure unadulterated love, and they lit up a room with brightness shining from the iridescent sea blue. Now they are dim and empty, just like her soul. I gaze toward the clouds beyond as they make their way across the valley, contemplating our future until I reach the front steps of my home, our home. It will take time, but I swear that I will bring the light back into Delilah's eyes, and she will once again know the feeling of happiness. The marble elevator could be used, but I'm now more than eager to see my mate and transport to our room upstairs, a bedroom for its suite that encompasses an entire floor of the house, and that used to hum with sexual excitement, though it feels more like a hospital room or a morgue now. I take a deep breath, feeling slightly calmer, so I'm able to put on appearance for her sake. Opening the door, I find the bed empty, although that is where I left it with strict instructions not to move without help. I walk swiftly to the bathroom, unable to get the thought of her taking a fall on unstable legs from my mind, but the door is open and the room is empty. Delilah, I yell as I sit the rest of the floor, my pounding steps cementing into the level below, but expanding the worried energy floating through me, at least some of it. Delilah? Master Tuscano, Miss Delilah has left the estate. I turn to the butler who's been with me for centuries, both the trusted and committed asset. What did you say? Miss Delilah, she left. I couldn't stop her, Master. I know what you said, but why? Where did she go? He shakes his head solemnly, handing me a small pastel-coloured envelope with my name scrawled across the centre. I rip it open in haste, my chest pounding with fear and my throat burning with unspoken agony and need. Dear Christian. I hope you enjoyed that chapter reading and that you'll go check out the book. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.